Hello, welcome again to Let's Play number 2 of Star Trek Online. I am your host, the Crimson Phoenix, and today we will be going into the next part of the tutorial, which is of course communications breakdown. Investigate what happened to the USS Khitomer. To go here we have to go to the Pollux system. There's a few ways you can go to this system, which right now, if we just look ahead, the system, which you can kind of see without those icons right there, it's basically right in front of us, and there's a random starship. Now basically we can just go forward, which I am going to do, but here also we have our map, which is the galaxy map in the sector. Right now, the sector we are in is, of course, the Sirius sector block, home to the Sol system, Vulcan, Bajem, Andoria, Kai, Baton, and a whole bunch of other systems, including the most, including one of Star Trek's most favorite planets, the Risa system. Now, we'll get to where it says transwarp into Gamma Orionis. We'll get to that later. But right now, there's a few ways we can get there. One is basically what I'm doing right now, just moving forward. Other way is just click on an icon, auto travel, and autopilot is engaged. So right now, that's new. So right now, we're right here at the system where we can enter the system. Basically, just gotta click beginning communications. But I want to take a look here. Hail the SS Break-Even.
You're alive! How did you survive? It was a sure bet. I would have made a killing. But now I'm going to lose the whole bar of... hey, nice to see you, Captain. How may I assist you?
Well, how he can assist us is two ways. Basically, with accessing the Federation mail, which with the mail, you can send and receive mail. The only way you can send and receive is if you are actually at a mail terminal or using a ship such as the Break-Even. Right now, this is telling me that on one of my other characters, I have managed to sell a few items: a Debernium hull armor and a transphasic torpedo. Right now, we're not gonna go into that. Another thing that we can do here with the Break-Even is access your bank. Which there are two types of banks. There is the character bank, which is basically this. It has lots of bank slots. If you're I'm not exactly sure for free-to-play players. I don't think it works this way, but with sub players such as myself, who has a lifetime account, or people who buy the monthly subscriptions and whatnot, you can the bank slots for every rank that you rank up to, it increases. Like right now, I'm technically a lieutenant because I got field promoted by the captain back in the other mission. But so right now, this is how many I got. Once I get to lieutenant, commander, and captain, these slots will increase. Now, also something with sub players and lifetime players is the account bank. This account bank, it comes with just a small amounts of additional bank slots, which I got a few items in here, as well as it allows you to store energy credits. And the good thing about the account bank is that most items that you place in onto your character will have something that says character bind on equip, or another thing. There we go, account bind on equip. If it says account bind on equip, that means it doesn't matter if you put the item on any character, it's not going to bind it to the character, it's going to bind that to the account. So if you need this item, like for example this warp core, and if I needed it on one of my other characters, I just take it off one character, place it into the account bank, log out, log into the other character, and take it out. Now there are a few other additional items in here that I have here. Lockboxes, which right now we're going with the Voth lockbox since we're in Season 8. This lockbox, the only to get them to get the lockboxes. You grab them by looting, which you can loot them in space or ground, whichever way it happens. And you can stack up to 20 of these lockboxes, and basically what these lockboxes do is they have items inside that can either you can use either assist you better in your in your time in here, or you can sell these on the exchange. Most of the time, most of the items you get are going to be stuff like, for example, these duty officer mini packs. These mini packs hold a number of duty officers. It's random on whether they are common, uncommon, rare, or very rare. It's all randomized. But most of the time, you're just going to get common and uncommons. You might get a rare duty officer, but we'll look into the duty officer system once we get to the level. I believe in the level you gotta be. Let's take a look here. Which, by the way, when I clicked here, I clicked on this here, which tells you all the Starfleet rewards for ranks. So right now, we're at Lieutenant. Yes, that says new ship, but we'll get to that part later. Right now, I can unlock the diplomatic corps and everything, but I gotta complete the tutorial first. So let's see. No, that's not it. Here we go, duty officer. So in order to unlock the duty officer system, we gotta be level 11. So once I hit level 11, I'll explain the duty officers just a little bit more. So right now, let's get back to the game here. Begin communications breakdown. Let's find out what happened to the Khitomer. Here we are.
We're here, Captain. The USS Khitomer is dead ahead, and the Renown is beside us. Our orders are to make contact with the Khitomer and find out why they've not responded to our hails.
Very good, set course. So let's see here. We have the Renown, which is a Regent class, which I may or may not have said this before. The Regent is a variant of the Sovereign. And I believe that Khitomer, which is right up ahead, might be it's a Noble. Noble class is another variant of the Sovereign. You can kind of tell. I personally like the look of the Noble class, but that's just me. You can kind of see the little Sovereign-ish there.
Yes, sir. I will require approximately 15 seconds to make the necessary adjustments.
Approximately? You sure you don't need a few extra seconds there?
Ah, Captain Volog. Captain Taggart? What are you both doing here?
I'm not Taggart. That'd be awesome, but... Oh, by the way, something else I will also mention. The characters won't call your character by their name. Well, they'll say Captain, Commander, Lieutenant, Ensign, or Lieutenant Commander, but because this is an MMO, yeah, everything is voice. You'll see everything in the text on the characters saying Captain. Like, for example, my character, I forgot his last name here. Doesn't even have his last name, really? Wow. I thought I said that. We'll get that later. Okay, so right now it's just gonna be Captain Kona, which I thought I said that last name. You'll find random glitches in this game, such as this, because I believe back in part 1, I know I said the first and last name. I could be wrong on that, but okay. So right now, he's calling me Taggart. So. Not Taggart, sir. I am in command of the Corsair. Captain Volog ordered me to come with him to your location.
Always good to follow the orders of your superior officers.
With your communication.
These cadets were the unfortunate victims of a Klingon ambush. Captain Taggart is dead, and the ship is under the command of this cadet. The Renown was escorting them back to Earth's space dock, but when we could not raise the Khitomer, I deemed it imperative to alter our course and assess the situation. Captain Yim, what is your status?
I'm troubled by the anomalies in this system, and if they're affecting long-range communications, then they're doubly a cause for concern. Let's do this by the numbers. We've already launched 9 probes. Now that they're active, we can do an in-depth scan of the anomalies. With all 3 ships collecting data, we should be able to complete this quickly and formulate a course of action. The Renown has the largest science team, so I recommend we send our data there for analysis. Any questions? You're quite confident for a cadet. You remind me a bit of myself when I was an ensign. Of course, I wasn't commanding a ship back then. Let's see how you perform before you start claiming that chair full time.
So now we have the orders to conduct scans. So right now we gotta just basically follow the mini map here, which, let's see, the first anomaly is gonna be right over here. Yep, scan point alpha. It's a lot of radiation there.
Reports indicate traces of gamma radiation, but there's something off in the readings.
Something off. Well, what could be off about this? Let's see. Scanning point beta.
Khitomer here. Are you seeing the same gamma radiation levels that we are? I'm not sure that a normal scan will be enough. We might need to do a full multiphasic reading.
Okay, so right now we got another one of those things where if you're a science, where if you're in the science career, you'd be able to use this option. Which, as you see, is I've determined that that it is a problem with our sensor's tachyon settings. So right now we can't use that. So the only thing we can use right now is solve the same issue. How can we improve our findings?
My chief science officer, Commander Davis, suggests that performing a reverse tachyon pulse wave scan will solve our sensor issue. Perform your final scans and then report back.
A reverse tachyon scan. Well, that will certainly be interesting. Why am I not going forward? Oh, there we go. I hit the button, but it didn't work. Which, as you see, there's 2 ways. There's also
Deflector dish is realigned for reverse tachyon pulse wave, sir.
yeah. So right now there's a few ways we can do the scan. One is by pressing F, which I've been doing on my keyboard, or just clicking the option.
Picking up a transwarp signature. It's right on top of us. The board.
Really? What? Borg?
Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. All life forms will be assimilated.
Well, that's certainly unexpected. Now, in the previous tutorial, yeah, you did fuck the board. But this time we only fought, so I kinda figured that the board would be coming in, but I didn't, but that was kind of unexpected right there. Right now, as you see, that is a Borg probe, which, if you've seen Voyager, you'll notice it, and you'll recognize it immediately from Voyager. It's basically the Borg's frigate.
Impulse to reach her quickly.
What you want to do for me at this point is, before you actually reach the ships, is to let your weapon power get up at least up to 100%. I know right now I'm using a frigate, which, you know, putting the weapons at 100% actually does do some good. For people who are wondering what the green stuff is that's going around my ship here, that's plasma fire. The plasma fire, that's because the... Hey look, oh that's scary, a simulated Gemini. Plasma fires, by the way, is caused by plasma weapons, which the Borg.
This is the
and
emergency
use.
medical hologram aboard the USS Khitomer. I am requesting assistance from any Federation vessel in range. I've lost contact with the bridge. I am unable to contact Commander Davis for new instructions.
EMH?
The Khitomer is being overwhelmed by Borg boarding parties. These Borg are different than the ones in my history records. They seem disconnected somehow. They're strange, but still quite dangerous. I am an emergency medical hologram, not a miracle worker.
Well, that's something that you don't see here every day. Oh wait, you actually do. Let's see, the Doctor from Voyager, you've heard it a few times, and also, well, mainly from, of course, Dr. McCoy. Okay, so, Captain Volok, what shall we do? I'll click the button.
The Borg were brutally efficient on the Khitomer. The emergency medical hologram may be in command simply because no one else is fit to do so. The Borg have not been seen in the Alpha Quadrant in decades. Their arrival cannot simply be a coincidence. However, I hesitate to speculate without the full data from all of the probes. I will send teams to aid the Khitomer. You will have to finish the scans. We need to know the extent of the Borg presence here. You must also inform me if you or your crew are unable to continue. The Borg evoke a strong emotional response. They can rattle even trained Starfleet officers. A crew of cadets that have already survived a Klingon attack may be unable to cope. I have linked the Iota point to your map. Scan there while we see to the Khitomer.
So this is slightly a little bit off then from the original from the original tutorial, because that message from the EMH is actually from the original tutorial. However, or at least part of it. It's a little bit off in some areas, but usually we would be going up there. But let's see what happens here. Okay, scan point Iota.
Please transmit the data so we may begin our analysis.
Transmitting the data.
We have your data, and our science team is analyzing it now. Our tactical teams have eliminated the Borg boarding parties on the Khitomer. Why do you ask?
There is an 88.47% chance that you will need my help.
Two options here. So only having second thoughts about this. So I mean, 8.47% chance that you will need my help. Yeah, I just realized that EMH is Vulcan, but so that's why he would say that partly, but also because he's a computer. Let's go with agree. Can you help the renown analyze the data we've accumulated in the system?
I have 75 million gigaquads of computer memory and an extensive library of files on military tactics and command strategies. I believe I can spare a few bits of processing power for you.
Well, that certainly made me feel better. Okay.
Borg transwarp signatures detected. Prepare your ship for combat.
They're firing. I need help.
The Khitomer, I can understand not being needing help because I mean it's disabled. Hopefully, the Renown will be able to provide some assistance. I mean, it's a sovereign for God's sakes. One ship down. Something else you want to stay away from this game is explosions. Starship explosions, no matter how small or big, will do some damage. The bigger the starship, the larger the explosion, and the more damage you're going to be able to take, because those explosions do kinetic damage.
I don't know if we're ready for this.
What the? Oh. It's just probes! Quit your complaining. Surprisingly enough, we're actually not doing that bad. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Maintain your composure. Logically, you can defeat the Borg with Admiral Janeway's activated. You are Starfleet officers. You are prepared for this.
Holy Jesus! Okay,
Multiple
that's
Borg warp signatures detected.
definitely unexpected.
It's an invasion force.
And that's a trans warp.
We're outnumbered. There's no way we can.
The Borg are departing, most likely for a more strategic target. Direct your fire at the remaining sphere. Focus your fire, and we shall prevail.
Well, that was actually a little bit scary. I never expected well, for one thing, a trans warp gate to literally decloak. And that was a lot of spheres too.
Here is the situation as we see it. The Borg are using the Pollux system as a staging area for a larger invasion. Long-range sensors are already detecting inbound transwarp signatures. The most likely target for a first strike is the Vega system. There is a civilian colony there, and if the Borg could take it by surprise, they would have large numbers of new drones at their disposal.
Okay, now we can actually use. Excuse me. Now we can actually use a one of these options here. So we got several options. We got what is our next course of action, what is the status of the Khitomer, or of course the tactical option. The Corsairs should go to the Vega to warn the colonists. Which one I'm going to choose?
Very observant of you. The Renown is better equipped to hold off further Borg attacks and assist the Khitomer. We must remain here. Once you have warned the colony, return to Earth's space dock.
Can you stop the Borg?
This is not a matter of can, Cadet. It is a matter of must. We must buy you as much time as possible. Once we are no longer in a position to help, we will stage a tactical retreat. You should have enough time to warn the colony. I will attempt to summon additional ships to assist, but you cannot wait for them to arrive.
And so we will set course for Vega.
It is imperative that you warn the colony at Vega of the impending attack. We will do what we can to hold off the Borg here in Vega and repair the Khitomer. Live long and prosper.
Okay, awesome. So, with this comes rewards, which as you can see here, let's see. We're gonna get, let's see, some skill points, which we're gonna be able to use in our skill tree, which I will show you here in a bit. Also, we're also gonna get XP, which will, of course, help us in this bit. And a few other things. Let's take a look here. Neutrino deflector array with plus in sensors. And let's see, a photon torpedo launcher Mark 1 with accuracy, which will help in the accuracy. Shield emitter. Now, this console, the shield emitter amplifier, what it does, it helps with the regeneration of our shields. Oh, plus we're gonna get DeVral. Awesome. So let's do that.
We have to make our way to Vega as soon as we can, Captain. I just hope we're not too late to warn the colony. Are you ready to go?
So just completing that actually, guys, to Lieutenant 2. Yes, depart system.
Shields up, red alert.
Well, That's gonna be one hell of a battle. Two sovereigns versus a fleet of spheres. Now, of course, people are gonna be saying, yeah, the sovereign is the most powerful ship in the game. Yeah, it is a bit powerful. However, the spheres are quite powerful as well, and I'll be honest, they're just a little bit more powerful than most ships. So, let's go with the autopilot system. So, our objective is Vega system, which is here in Sirius. There's another there was another Miranda there. You'll see now, as you can see, there's a bunch of shit. There's just a few ships out right now. There's gonna be a lot of some pretty cool names, some not so good. We got the USS Hammer of Haven, USS Garura, and Armageddon. Of course, we are the Corsair, and way over there is the RRW Varela. The RRW is basically the Romulan Republic Warbird. Now, Romulan characters can choose between the IRW, which is Imperial Romulan Warbird, or the RRW, Romulan Republic Warbird. Let's see, USS Black Mackhawk. Okay. Now, right now, there's something else I want to show you real quick. Now, right now, we see everything in the astrometrics view here. Now, this is pretty normal for what you see in the astrometrics, but we're going to disable the astrometrics for now, which will be nothing but space. I like this option a lot more because especially for if you're doing any kind of recordings or anything for, I don't know, name it. You can do a machinima, and it'll be best to do this without the astrometrics. Now, let's take a look at the skills right now, since we got in some skill points we can spend on. So, right now, these are the skills. Now, here in STO and Star Trek Online, they are categorized by several things. There's the space skills, which goes between tactical systems, engineering systems, science, and operations. Now, these are all what we have here to do. Engineering is just a little bit more because engineering does just a tad bit more. Now, we do have the ground skills, which most of these are pretty much the same. The same thing for most other characters, except for some differences. Like, for example, there's some similarities with the ground skills. Like, for example, most tactical science and engineering officers will have the weapon proficiency, PS generator, which is a personal shield generator, threat control, willpower, and combat armor. These bottoms are the most common. The uncommons are going to be the ones up here, which is going to be grenades, combat specialists, special forces, squad command, and advanced tactics. Now, only way you can level these up is if you have the certain amount of XP within overall, which right now we only got 9,000 skill points to spend. Right now I'm a little bit more concerned with the space as well as ground, so let's take a look here. So, most common, what you're gonna want to put some skill in when it comes to the space skill, definitely what's common, and that's gonna be the weapon training, which improves your starship weapons damage, including all energy and projectile weapons. So let's put a few in here. These lieutenant skills points, they cost about 1,000 each. I've already used 3, which actually no way, that's 4. Wow, there we go, 3. So I'm down to 6. Now I'm actually gonna do 2, so we're actually gonna do 4. I'm putting these in attack patterns as well as weapons training. Attack patterns. With tactical officers, the one thing we get, the first attack pattern you get as a tactical officer is attack pattern alpha. Now, to get a beta, delta, and omega, you have to train those on your officers. The bridge officers can only get attack patterns beta, delta, and omega. the only people that are able to get the alphas are the captains themselves, which is of course me. Now, a few other things that you want to look into also is of course driver coils, starship batteries, and hull repair. I'm gonna put a few in hull repair because later on I'm gonna get stuff like engineering team, hazard emitters, auxiliary to structural integrity, one of those three to help me with my hull repair. The only ability that I don't get, which is seen here, because these are the skills that this amplifies. The only thing that tactical officers do not get is Miracle Worker. Miracle Worker is a captain level ability, captain rank ability that engineers can use, because I mean Miracle Worker basically it heals everything on your starship. It heals the hull as well as the shields. Starship batteries, they basically improve the duration of your starship batteries, which improving this skill can cause power gain you receive from batteries to last longer. Now these batteries are I don't even think we have any batteries right now. No, we don't. Okay, well, let me put some of these weapons in here. Most commonly there are 4 type of batteries that you'll see. And so why did that happen? Most commonly they are basically a weapon battery, a shield battery, auxiliary, and engine batteries, and they basically put in more power to each of these abilities. And some of them, like for example the engine batteries, they allow your ship to move faster. Shield batteries allows your shields to regenerate a little faster, while weapon batteries causes more damage into your weapons. Now right now we don't have any weapon batteries. Right now we're stuck with what we got right now, which is pretty much our regular bridge officer abilities. So right now let's go back into here since I forgot to accept stuff. So let's put those in there. So right now the only thing left to do is the science abilities, which these are what you, and so these are the 2 things that, and these are a few things that you may want to look into. Now if you're a science officer, I would recommend putting some into these, because for science officers, putting points into these will help you a lot. But for engineering and tactical officers, it's basically the two things you're going to want to put your points in, which is going to be shield emitters and shield systems. Emitters, they help with the healing of your shields, while systems, they basically increases the starship's shield strength, which is causing your shield hit points to become higher. I'll bring you up to that here in a moment. So let's go ahead and put that last ability into weapon proficiency, which will help us in our ground abilities. Now you do need to put skills in your officers, because officers, you can't promote them. They don't promote on their own. You have to do the promoting for them. And right now, here's all the abilities that Ms. Flores has. So ground abilities, you got photon grenades, and as well as target optics, battle strategies 3, and ambush 1. That's for ground. For space, we got high yield 1, which we're already using. Oh, hell. This is something else you're gonna see every so often. A random fleet invite. Cause I'll be honest, fleets nowadays, they're not like the clans back in the old days. With clans back in the old days, like for example in games such as Star Wars Jedi Knights, Jedi Academy, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force 1, and of course Star Trek Elite Force 2, and other games like, let's also say, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and other sort of games. Back in the day, most people were a little bit more courteous and asking people, hey, do you want to join our guild? Oh, hey, do you want to join our fleet? Yeah, and, you know, you can say the yes or no, say, hey, I'm not interested or whatnot. But here in Stowe, and nowadays, even in some other games, like, for example, I believe also the Old Republic and other MMOs nowadays, they don't ask you. They just send out the random fleet invite because they want more fleets. And I don't even know if this is I don't even know what kind of fleet this is. EMD. For all I know, that fleet could be a player versus player fleet, a player versus everyone fleet, which is basically NPCs, or this could be, you know, this could even be like an RP fleet, a role-playing fleet, but I don't think that is EMD. So let's go ahead and decline that and search this up. So the way you find fleets, since that guy is making me do this slightly, well, he's not making me, but I'm deciding to do this just to rant on. To find fleets, you basically go into your social menu, which, let me close this out. To get to the social menu, it's right here where it says social, this little icon here, or you can press the O key on your keyboard. Now, usually when you get to social, you first off and define team, but to find a fleet, you find them here. You basically click this button, and you can do the search filters, which you can basically find the fleet name in here. So let's start E.M.D. and search. You might have to hit the button a few times. Well, hang on, let me take away those two. There we go. EMD. Details. That doesn't tell me much. Members who are online and have invitation permissions, which is of course that Lin person, which EMD Admiral. Now, I really got no idea anything about this fleet since there's nothing on here. There's no recruiting message, there's no website, there's nothing. So let's just remove that. There's a lot of fleets in here. Army of Helaman, Ars Fleet, Task Force Venus, and a whole bunch of other fleets out there. Now, one fleet that I've seen most commonly, of course, is the fleet where you see over there, Joint Task Force Sierra, and a bunch of other fleets out there. But oh wait, I gotta go back there. That guy messed me up. So, we're not there yet. Flores. Okay, so one thing I don't like is that one thing that gets me sometimes is that these guys, the duty officers, they take less skill points to place in than we do in our characters, but that's okay because the reason for that is because we can have these skills trained and overwritten to another skill if we wanted to. For right now, I'm not going to do that for this character, so I'm going to put a few. Let's just go with 2. I'm going to go with 2 on her. Let's see what Tavrel has. Medical tricorder, which of course, medical tricorder, it does be healing for you, and Tachyon Beam. Tachyon Beam is basically drains the target's shields, increasing the effective base on, and apparently this increases in effectiveness based on the current auxiliary power level, which right now is at 25%. Sava's got shield recharge, which restores quickly your shield hit points on ground for yourself or an ally, and of course emergency power to shields, which is basically a shield heal. It heals your shield. So that's done. Now we got time left since the last field took about almost an hour and a half. This should not take this long. I mean, right now we're at the 40-minute mark. I know right now because of a little commentaries here and forth. So let's see here. A simulation of the innocent.
We arrived before the Borg. Now my heart can start beating again. What are your orders, Captain?
What do you think? Hail the colonists.
Tivrel managed to establish a comm link with Willa Post, the administrator of Vega Colony. It's not a great signal, but it's the best we're gonna get. Putting her through now.
Greetings, Captain. Is there something I can do for you today?
That was a small glitch here. A border on their way to the system, you need to start evacuation.
Repeat, please. Your signal is breaking up. Did you say the Borg? What about...
Border on their way. What just happened?
I have lost contact with Vega Colony, sir. Something is blocking all subspace signals in this area. Even our hails to the civilian ships are not getting through. There is a communication satellite nearby. It should boost our signal sufficiently to inform the freighters of the danger and warn the colony.
Okay, you gotta set course to that satellite, which is right over there. Okay, start from here. Let's boost this energy signal, that way we can warn them.
Our hails are still blocked, sir. The Borg may be attempting to isolate the planet before they land. Your orders, sir.
Alright, let's see. Sorry, can't we get transporters locked on the colonists?
Borg are jamming up any remote signals. It's not safe to beam through that. I think I can boost the gain, though.
I think the Borg will be here any... Well, that... Oh great, they're already here.
Those civilian ships are right in the Borg's path. We have to help them.
Planetary assimilation probe. Well, let's take that thing down before anything. Is that a new model? I've seen that model before. So let's try this out. I wish I had hazard emitters. Takes off the plasma damage, which is a good thing. So let's take out that last escort probe, and then we'll deal with that simulation probe, because I want to take a look, see if that is a different model. Looks like it is. There is a fleet event, by the way, called No-Win Scenario. Not to worry about it too much. Here, we'll worry about that in a bit. Okay, here we go. So let's get closer. Oh, hey, I recognize that model. That's from something else. We'll get to that later. See his weapons, destroys it. Come on, come on. Okay, so that was fun.
Captain, I have short-range communications. Long-range signals are still blocked. I can contact the planet and have informed Administrator Post of the situation. However, the Borg have already landed and are moving toward the colony. It may be more prudent to retreat back to the Renown, sir.
Maybe, but we're the only Starfleet vessel in the system. Gotta rescue as many colonists as we can. Continuing.
Borg landing craft detected nearby. Captain, there are civilian ships engaging them.
I believe I can send a message to those ships.
Civilian ships, You are ordered to disengage and retreat. We will cover you.
Roger that, Starfleet. All ships, fall back.
Even though we probably could have used help.
Worked out the system, Captain.
Now, even though in my opinion we probably could have used those ships as help, but you know, I'm not gonna argue with this. Yeah, surprised that they're not. Oh wait, there we go. It's finally being attacking me. Plasma torpedo, yeah. So even though I don't think I completely destroyed that ship, it still said I did. Nice.
Captain, the Borg have landed, and the colony won't be able to hold them off for long. I recommend beaming down to Vega and getting as many people out as we can.
Not much choice there. Time to be beam down. Since we can only take one officer, choice between Flores, Tavrel, and Sava. I think I'm going to take Flores on here because the extra tactical assistance would be needed, especially against the Borg. The one thing I'm a little afraid of is if they will...
Captain, according to our readings, over half the planet is already assimilated by the Borg. At the rate they're progressing, the region we're in will be overrun in roughly 1 hour. And if that wasn't bad enough, the interference is affecting the ship's transporters.
We'll have to tag the survivors. Okay.
No, sir. I'll follow your lead.
So this is slightly different than from the actual tutorial, but I like it.
That's one of those Borg ships from orbit. Are we too late? Those landing ships don't just carry drones. They can pump nanoprobes directly into the ground and the atmosphere. We need to hurry. The Borg will be in this area soon.
Heck. Didn't expect that to happen. Hang on. That was a buddy of mine. Sorry about that. Hey, 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to turn off a few things here. Alright, so let's need to get close with.
Thank you. We didn't know if anyone from Starfleet got our distress signal, and we don't have any weapons. But we do have some spare armor suits for you and your officer. They're in the crates next to the gate. This code will open the gate. Please, Administrator Post and some of the others are still there. You have to save them.
Oh, not a problem. Okay, so let's treat some supplies first. So we got 2 types of body armor. So we got actually, well, no, we did the same type of body armors. Energy dampening.
Press the U key to view your status. This is your character. You can also view your ship's equip your bridge officer by.
So right now, let's go with this. Right now, the energy dampening. Oh, well, there we go. Yes, by the way, this is basically the suit that we wear for armor. It's an it's a special energy dampening suit. Now, to turn off the visuals, you just basically click the I button here, and you can go back to the uniform. And you can do the same thing for your officers, which right now it's not showing for Flores, but later on it probably will. So let's open this gate.
Oh no, we're too late.
It ain't good. Okay. First things to first, gotta tag these civilians. Tactical drone. That was probably a bad idea for me to do that, but okay. Come on! Finish with the tagging. That drone just did not want me to tag them.
We have the civilians. There is still no sign of the Renown or the Khitomer, sir.
And why are those people running off? Hey.
Sir Cole's putting a rifle in your face. If it wasn't for him, the Borg would have assimilated me by now.
Oh, that was weird. Very good.
I apologize for Cole's putting a rifle in your face. If it wasn't for him, the Borg would have assimilated me by now. I see. And it's true. Vega is doomed. A single starship cannot hope to stop this. Still, there is more to do. Many citizens are hiding in their homes. We cannot abandon them to the Borg. I know. Coles and I have been trying to get around the interference field. Thank you for tagging the people you found and getting them safely transported to your ship. No, there are dozens more hiding out in the buildings. But Coles and I have a plan. We think a pattern enhancer will do the trick. With that, we can transport the remaining citizens to your ship. But first, I'd like to offer you some equipment. Vega was a trade colony, and this gear was intended to go to Starbase 65. I think you need it more.
A kit? Awesome. This kits give us more abilities, which I will show you here in a moment here. Okay, so... Okay, there's crates. Unfortunately, bridge officers are unable to equip kits, but luckily we can. Which kits, they do give you a bit more your look with adding stuff, but they also give you more abilities. Like right now, I was just given a photon grenade. So this photon grenade will be able to assist us further in here. So
we have lowered shields for the transporter, sir. I will need to raise them at the first sign of Borg ships.
Pattern enhancers are working, and not a moment too soon. I can hear the Borg moving this way. I'll do that. How long do you think you can hold off the Borg?
as long as we need.
Remember when we thought fighting a crazed Klingon was the worst thing that could happen today?
It still is slightly
Concentrate
worse
fire
than-
on the board. We need to keep them away from the civilians.
Another group of civilians is beamed to the ship, Captain.
So another grenade. Okay. So after this last Borg, we got hail for the ship. Answer ship's hail.
Shields are back up, sir, but more Borg vessels are warping to our location. We have detected a type of generator near your position. There is a 94.6% chance it is the device affecting our transporters. If you can destroy it, we will transport as many people from the area as we are able.
Thank you for everything you've done. Even though it was impossible to save everyone, those you did save will be forever in your debt.
I'm not finished yet.
Glad to do anything I can. I was born on Vega. There's no way I'm sitting by and letting the Horde take it without a fight. I know the drill. Just never expected any Borg here.
I don't think any of us did. Oh boy. That certainly was unexpected.
I knew that one. We played poker last night.
Now, if you thought it was bad in the shows the damage the Borg could do, look here.
We need to disable that force field. The Borg are activating the transport inhibitor. We need to disable that force field.
I think you said that twice, didn't you?
The Borg are so, what's the word? Effective? Systematic? Evil. I'm gonna go with evil.
That works.
We are the Borg. Resistance is futile.
Borg 101. Wow.
The ship is transporting anyone they can get a lock on, Captain, but we don't have much time. We need to get back as soon as possible.
Agreed. Oh, so much for Vega.
We're packed to the brim with civilians, Captain. I don't think we could fit one more soul on this ship. Communications are still jammed, so we can't reach the Renown or the Khitomer. The immediate problem is the civilian ships in this system. Vega's a huge trading outpost. There are always ships traveling here. We need to warn them the Borg have taken over.
Maybe reconfigure the satellite and system sent automated warning.
Possibly, but what we need to do is hightail it out of here with these civilians. Of course, the brim with civilians, Captain. I don't think we could fit one more soul on this ship. Communications are still jammed, so we can't reach the Renown or the Khitomer. The immediate problem is the civilian ships in this system. Vega's a huge trading outpost. There are always ships traveling here. We need to warn them the Borg have taken over.
Okay. So, little repeat. Sorry about that. Had to take care of the door. But it's alright though. Just somebody trying to sell shit and whatnot. So, let's see here.
Possibly, but what we need to do is hightail it out of here with these civilians. Of course, the path to the satellites does lead away from the planet, so we could remotely reconfigure them as we leave. The message won't get very far, but anyone who enters the system will get the signal and be able to turn around before it's too late.
Well, sounds like a solid plan to me, so... Wow. That thing's nearly assimilated there.
Multiple probes inbound. I don't think the Borg like us hanging around.
This might hurt. Okay, that hurt just a little bit there. One more torpedo should do it. There's the maneuvers away. Alright, so we only got one, so I don't think this is the last beacon, but it is one a little bit further away from the planet.
Never thought I'd wish I was back at the academy studying for the astrometrics final.
Ship is under attack.
It's time forward. Will adapt to some stars.
And somehow like this, I ain't going down without a fight. The thing is, not all weapons are that accurate. Some weapons you can be lucky to miss with, or be missed by, I should say.
Sir, there are several fast-moving ships on sensors. No way to contact them, and I can't tell if they're friend or foe.
Oh, better get that last beacon taken care of.
Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Well, that just makes things better.
A cube? Guess it's our time to go out in
Oh boy.
blaze of glory.
Oh wow. So we got reinforcements. Armitage, Renown. Looks like the
Exceptional effort. Now, let us finish this.
Ooh, the Defiant. Which, yes, the Defiant is in here. Not captured by Cisco, but we'll get to that here. So right now we got several ships, and only two of them you can get on the exchange. Is the Armitage, which is basically, as you see, looks like a Akira, and the Renown, which of course is a Regent class. This cube can die in like right now. I would be happy. So it explodes will hurt. That's the subject.
We held off what we could in Pollux and sent a signal out to Starfleet. These were the closest ships. Others will be arriving as soon as they can.
See, there's no way we could have to feed the cube.
You have handled things well thus far. Excellent thinking on reconfiguring the satellites into warning beacons. We received the signal as soon as we arrived in the system. I will be discussing that option with the other captains here, but your priority is to protect the civilians you have on board, as well as to ensure the safety of your crew. The Khitomer will return to Earth's space dock with you. Once you arrive, report to Admiral Quinn. He will have more information for you. You and your crew have done well. Koles would make a fine addition to your senior staff.
Nice. So we get Koles in addition to our other officers, and we get a few other things. So, ooh, nice. Get a phaser full auto rifle, which will be the same as the split beam rifle, which I'm gonna use that, and I'll just give the split beam to Koles or somebody else. We also got Duranium alloy. Duranium, as you see, it does resistance to kinetic damage, which that kinetic damage will be with torpedoes as well as like a few other things which I'll mention later. But there's also all energy damage. So okay, so we get those rewards.
Captain Volok told us to get to Earth's space dock, and I think he's right. We need to get the civilians to safety. And I don't think I can handle any more excitement.
I'm pretty sure you can't. So let's warp to Earth space dock. Earth space dock, of course, is going to be the starbase that you saw earlier. But honestly, its real actual name is like Starbase 1, I believe. But let's take a look at this. Fleet Admiral Quinn.
Come.
Oh, I still got the rifle on my back. Let me save the visuals of that. Just be a little bit respectful here. We have lots to discuss. Let's see. Yes, I see that here in the report transmitted by Captain Volok. Friendly, a field promotion. If you seniority over the rest of the active crew of your ship. It's good day. You were assigned to an academy training cruise under Captain Taggart, correct? Team first officer, yes. Reports facing off against Klingon raiders and a Borg invasion force within hours of leaving Starfleet Academy. Very unusual. Well, yeah. In your own words, tell me what happened out there. And it's gonna be, let's see. That's Quasar. Yes. Let's hear from Kenta Volog and Yim and Willow Post from Vega Colony. Collaborating your story, all three of them cite your bravery, command skills, as well as you and your crew's willingness to put yourselves in harm's way to preserve the lives of others. It is what Starfleet does. And you're exactly the kind of needs. Know that your ship might not be the Enterprise. I think you've proven yourself to be able. Sir? What accuse? War with the Klingon Empire, the Borg return. I'm losing more trained officers than ships I can spare. Ships we can build, but leaders with courage and honor, those are hard to find, of course. It's time to try something different. I need someone who can handle themselves in a crisis and can get best out of the crew. Even though you're young, I think you're that person. If I promote you to the rank of lieutenant, give you command of the USS Corsair. What's going to happen to Vega? Fortunately, Renown and her task force were not able to repel the Borg. Vega is lost. Now we'll meet with Federation President Anik Okeg. Federation Council to determine the next step. For now, Federation vessels will patrol the outskirts of the Vega system, ensuring no Borg escape. Okay. Any further questions? No, I'm very sorry for the loss of Captain Taggart, which I am. Yeah. Man. Yeah, if you click on any of these options, they'll just go back and forth with this stuff here. So let's see, what are your orders? Which pretty much welcome to Earth space dock, which now we got in a few other things here.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Which now it puts us here at Lieutenant 3, stranded in space. Now we get a little bit more into the regular into the regular mission. So now we are out of the tutorial. So right now here's all the batteries. So before I end this, here's all the batteries. We got the weapon batteries, which it repairs disabled weapon systems, as well as plus 75 weapon power settings for 10 seconds, and the shields. Same thing, is basically as it says, shield generation, shield power settings, repairs disabled shields. Also with this, we got another phaser, which I'm going to be putting down the back here, and a phaser relay. Now the phaser relay, this is something you need because it helps with your phaser damage. I don't got anything that'll help the torpedo damage, but we'll get to that later. So, right now these are our rewards. I'm definitely gonna be using that full auto rifle, and let's see. As it, I'll just give Coles this. So right now, this is what we got. So later on we'll do the stranded in space mission. More likely I'll probably get another video out here soon. I'm gonna try and make videos at least every weekend. Now this coming weekend, because we're coming into Thanksgiving and such, I'm not gonna be able to do anything because of course the family and such. But of course, what can you expect? So right now we're done with part 2, and I will see y'all either tomorrow or next weekend. More likely it'll be next weekend. So this is goodbye to you. I am your host, the Crimson Phoenix. You have yourselves a wonderful day.